All right. My opinion about the current negotiations between the USA and China. Right. First of all, to me, there are no negotiations going on. What is going on is the USA trying to return to the status quo that existed before, and China understanding its power and its ability and leverage over the USA is extracting all it can from these negotiations. They are probably being cautious, doing things slowly, uh, but they are probably, let us, when armies are positioning themselves before a battle, and each army tries to get any kind of advantage over the adversary, like the position in the hill, for example, like having the sun behind your back instead of in your face, or crossing the river before the enemy arrives, or making the enemy cross the river. Do you understand what I am trying to say? This is what China is doing right now. If they get some kind of negotiations in the predicted shortages that I talked about, the USA are not eliminated, but sufficiently suspended, let's call it like this, better for the USA. But I still have doubts about it. But we'll see. If I if I'm wrong, I am glad that I am wrong. No, I don't wish evil on anyone. I just wish people to face the consequences of their actions. Now, all of this, even the speech coming in from Europe and from Canada, everyone seems to be wanting to maintain the status quo. And why is that? Money. It's a simple answer. With the status quo, with what we around here call paz podre, rotten peace, you know, a peace that smells of decay, but it's still peace. With that type of peace, everyone profits. Everyone earns something from it, and whoever wants to dominate in the future has enough time to gather their strength, to gather their strategy, to make plans, to apply plans, and if this is something that we are able to achieve both in Ukraine by forcing Russia to leave all of Ukraine, or at least to only occupy Crimea, it would be a win. And if this status quo between the USA and China maintains itself and it forces Trump and his troop, let's call it like that, because they are clowns, so a troop of clowns, if we are able to let them stay in their country and do damage to themselves and to their citizens and not infect the rest of us. If we can do that, it will be a win. But I saw this. I'm very afraid of what I saw. No, of what I hope that I'm wrong. But like I told you another stream, sorry, another video, I see war. War is already here, and I see it in the future because this type of peace can only go so far. It's like when you're in a boxing match, and the boxers retreat to their corners or whatever just to rest. This is the stage in which we are, and it's a very uncomfortable place to be in because if you are in peace or if you are in total war, things are clearer. No, there is not much doubt. But when we are in the stage, the situation that we are, anything can happen. A simple event can trigger a million events. And uncertainty is the worst thing to have in politics or economics. Because those effects we've been talking about the loss of soft power, the loss of trade, the loss of markets to of the USA, those things they are going to keep on happening because that fear of investing in America, of trusting in America, will continue. And China knows that. And China is using that. China is using that knowledge to replace the USA in key aspects of trade with Europe, with other parts of the world. And the fact that the USS Council, USA aid, and other mechanisms it had, and even its position and influence in the United Nations, the fact that the USA is retracting from that, all of that, it means other actors are going to replace him. So, to me, these negotiations will end in a simple way. Both countries will return to the same type of tariffs they had before all of this. Both of them are going to be calling it a victory. China will be calling it a victory. The USA, Mr. Trump, will be calling it a victory, like he called a victory that agreement with the UK that is just slashing tariffs in half, basically, and the rest continues as always with trade, with the extra factor of allowing the USA to potentially flood the UK market and kill off some of the some of the business inside of the UK and a little more. I I wasn't going to make this video, and I'm making this video in Sunday, the uh, 11th, sorry, 11th of May, and I will only publish this video Wednesday or before Wednesday, because I want to crystallize right now my idea about this, and then we'll see if I was wrong or if I was correct or if I was partially correct. To me, what it will end with this, with the tariffs being decreased, but continuing in some kind of level, and both parties claiming it as a victory. But it won't be a victory for neither of the parties. And what comes after is what really concerns me. Because who has been filling these shoes? Who has been filling these shoes in so many parts of the world, even those parts of the world that are near the US? And one of the effects we can see right now is the lack power of the US to exert soft power. The US is only getting anything with threats, and a lot of those threats are empty. Like the Chinese say, paper tiger. And if a simple individual with access to information can make this assumption, I wonder what specialized people with access to intelligence services and a million experts in China or the US, Europe, of course, whatever, Canada, Australia. I wonder if they are seeing the same things as I am seeing, and I'm not the only one, or are they ignoring it, or are they just riding the wave and see where this goes? And the last time we had an attitude of see how this goes, we had a world war. So, no. I'm sorry for being pessimistic, but these are my thoughts about it, about the negotiations, about the tariffs between the US and the USA. And I hope that I'm wrong. Let's see.